Hello, this is EJK, and this is going to be a video about an effective base layout and dealing with adepts in the TvP matchup. I've quickly simulated a TvP game against a very difficult AI. He's floating cash because he's going to do a major tech switch. And I've placed all of my buildings in a rather specific location designed to prevent adepts from accessing other parts of your base. So let's start with the main base. If you notice, there's a Rack's wall. There are depots near my mineral lines preventing, actually, I should say, creating a full wall off, and there's an eBay as well. So the goal behind this base layout is to prevent adepts from running amok in your base. Say your opponent drops an adept over here, a very common spot on this map in particular, just floating in over here, and dropping an adept here, and making you swear a lot as it deals a ton of damage. Well, if he drops it here, then all of a sudden, the adept can't really go anywhere. The only option that it has for its shadow is to go in this direction. And say your opponent is in this vicinity, this general vicinity in your main base, and your army's at the third base. You stim, your army travels this direction, and it kind of brings the adept and your army closer together so that you can more quickly react to the adepts as well. If your opponent wants to drop on this side of the mineral line, he's committing a lot further into the attack instead of just dropping here, staying along the outskirts, then already starting to leave them, picking up the adepts immediately, taking 0 damage and killing a couple workers off. We all know that feeling. Well, if your opponent is over here, he can no longer do that, and his Warp Prism will now be in range of your Marines and other units so that they can potentially even take it down if you can react well enough. If we take a look at the natural, another common location for your opponent to unload adepts is over here, and I've created a wall consisting of a couple buildings, and it's a full wall off, so it prevents adepts from accessing this half of your base, especially the one where your SCVs are. Now, of course, your opponent can always drop on the other side of the wall, but that forces him to commit further into your base, and that allows you to have more room and flexibility to deal with the Warp Prism and Adept Harass, along with mitigating the areas in which the adepts can actually travel and be effective. If your opponent drops over here, he's actually going to be able to get no damage done. If your opponent drops over here, the adepts might be on a suicide mission and end up dying along with the Warp Prism, because it gives your air units a better chance of catching up to the Warp Prism when it's over here than when it's over here and already running away by the time you react to it. So, yeah, play around with your building placement. Just keep it specifically in mind to create different wall offs to prevent adepts from accessing different parts of your base. Like adepts are trapped here, there's another wall off over here, and then this giant area that leads to the choke point where your main army can easily access to clean it up. And then there's a little wall off over here that can keep your natural and main base separated from the adepts so that they don't shadow their way back and forth across your mineral lines. This of course was going to vary map to map, but I just wanted to bring this out there, and hopefully as the game goes on we'll see some more genius type, or some more, I guess, artistic building placements to mitigate damage against adepts. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, see you all in the next one. Cheers.